Hey guys, it's Thursday, December 20th, and today we are experiencing a little bit of calm in the midst of the storm. So I'm taking it very cautiously and thanking thanking God for the calm, because it's been really stressful the last couple of days. We've had like electrical problems, as I've told you before, flickering lights, power going on and off in the kitchen, in the living room, just everywhere. We had the electrician come and see the whole switches situation, and he redid some outlets because some of the one behind the fridge, one of those was loose. I have all over the house this kind of switches. Super weird. Never seen them in my life. Even in my 1968 house before, we didn't have this. And these are terrible. Horrible. If you have a mobile home and you have some of these, please let me know, because what is your experience? We've been having so much trouble with these. So I've been trying to exchange them for the new ones, the regular ones. And that's when the whole thing happened. Something in that living room situation there, I changed them and things started to flicker, super weird. And we've had like 2 weeks, I believe, of starting with a little flickering, and then it started with great crazy flickering. So we did everything that we could. We changed circuit breakers, we changed the switches, we tightened wires and connections, everything all over the house. He went every single room. We almost did everything. The ones that I had redone, he reviewed them and he saw that, like, I would say out of all of the ones that I've done, only 2 were loose. The ones here in the living room, because of those connectors, which just these ones here are not a good thing to put in your switches. They don't hold very well. They can get loose just the same as these. Unless I've seen some that have the little door where you can like tighten them like that. Maybe those are better. I have no idea. But they had been working for me. I don't know. It's just lately they did not work. So weird. So I was super stressed out. I didn't sleep for a few days trying to figure out, because the lights were coming on and off on their own overnight. Nothing was on, no lights or anything that was going to overload the systems. So I was freaking out. So what I'm gonna do today is all the things that I was supposed to deliver, and I had told people, hey, are you gonna be there? I canceled all of that, and now what I'm gonna do is bake. Because I see that today, even though yesterday when we changed everything, everything was still flickering and going crazy, and we didn't know what to do. My electrician said he would come back, and I thank him so much. He is a friend of ours, but he really came through, guys. He is the real deal. I had called the other electricians, remember, that I mentioned, and one of them said that he wasn't available, and then the other one that he recommended was gonna charge me just to come and see, like $350, which I thought it was a little bit too much. And I tried calling other companies. They wouldn't even call me back or pick up. I'm like, do these people need business or what? What's going on? I don't know. So he did come right away, and then he came back on Tuesday. And now today and during the night yesterday, the last of the flickering was in my room when my mom walked through the hallway. But nothing here in the kitchen or the living room was flickering, according to her. So there was no beeps during the night, which was a clear indication. Look what I did. The hood, I had to take off the cover because I was like unplugging everything. I was like going crazy unplugging all of the appliances. And now the whole morning it's been stable. I turned on the microwave, which was another indicator of the fluctuation in the power. and because it would go in waves and turn, you could hear it. It was insane. And I was to the point that I was gonna call the power company today to tell them if they could come in. You should definitely call your electric utility and tell them you have intermittent phase leg out. They'll check it out for free and fix it if it's on their side, which is very often the case. So I was about to do that, but today seems to be stable and nothing bad is happening. So I'm holding off on that. My electrician did say that he was gonna come tomorrow or Friday to see if he could go underneath the house and check for any connections, or, you know, I don't know if there's a rat or something that ate something down there. And I'm gonna go check all around the house if there's any like holes or openings, to also secure those and just be sure. At this moment, I need to cook. I need to bake because I have cookies to make for my people that I know. So hopefully we can do that. I'll do a time lapse of that. And thank you for listening to all my whole spiel about crazy electrical problems. So let's get started, guys. I'm excited, and I'm excited that the lights are on and there's no flickering or anything like that happening. So let's get on with this and let's get holiday baking, guys. Let's go. All right, a good rinse to the bowl and to my mixer paddle so that I can work nicely, because this has been in storage for a long while, so I always like to give it all a rinse. And we're gonna work, these are called margaritas, the cookies that I'm gonna make. These are like classics that I've always made, and when I had the bakery, I always made them and they were a hit. So these are like, you pipe them and in the middle you have a little bit of jam or marmalade. And this is the one that I'm using. This is not actually peanut butter. I'm just using this because I made this. It's a guava marmalade. And it's so delicious. I made it last year. Our neighbors brought from their tree right here in front some guavas, and they've done it for 2 years. Now the lady's a little bit older, and she is, I don't know if she's living here any longer, but her daughter was living with her, and I don't see even the tree having guavas this year, because usually she would come in October and we would make it. And this is the date exactly from last year, 10/18/22. So unfortunately I think she went to a senior place, so we didn't have guavas this year, and I don't see guavas in the tree either. So we are gonna be using this, which is great because it's delicious, and we're gonna do those piped margaritas, and they're butter cookies, so delicious. These are 2 pounds. They make 164 cookies according to my notes here. And we used, what is this? Confectioner's sugar. I still have the confectioner's sugar for when I have, but these last forever because it's sugar, and it's confectioner's sugar even more. So I'm almost at the end of it because I always try to make cookies whenever I can. Then we have eggs, flour. I have my flour, and vanilla, a splash of vanilla. So first I'm gonna cream everything, the butter, and what do? Well, first, okay. I have to review everything with the recipes. I forget sometimes. I haven't done them in probably a year. This one says to mix the sugar and the eggs until the sugar is mixed up with the eggs, and then you start putting in the butter so you can cream it for at least 20 minutes until it's light and fluffy, and you'll see it because it's just gonna make it very fluffy and very super fine, like a mousse. And then you add the vanilla, and then you start adding the flour. Super simple. And then you have to have your piping bag and your tip ready so that you can start putting everything in the trays, and you have to have all your trays ready as well. So let's get all that set up and come back. You need to put the eggs first. So 5 eggs or 1/4 of a liter in eggs. And you're gonna pour them in, and you're gonna do that, the eggs plus, so 5 eggs, and then your confectioner sugar. What this does is that it's gonna dissolve all of your confectioner sugar, make it nice, and incorporate into your butter so that the flavor is there. So I'm just gonna pour everything in. Sometimes I put a little bit of water too, but we'll see. I'll add the vanilla too. Vanilla is super important because it's gonna give you flavor as well. So maybe just a couple of teaspoons. So always so yummy. So very low, you're gonna start your mixer. That's gonna prevent the whole powdered sugar coming into like a big cloud. And little by little, it's gonna start incorporating. Just be patient. Scrape the sides so you can get all the confectioner sugar out from being stuck, because it will get stuck to the sides and to the bottom as well. Everything is incorporated. You're gonna raise your speed to 4 in my case with this mixer, or whatever you're using, even a hand mixer, but I really like to make these in the standing mixer because it's way easier. So then you'll have this silky smooth consistency. Once you incorporate everything, then you're going to start creaming at a high speed. But for right now, little by little, incorporate all of the butter. Okay guys, this looks absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. I don't know if you can see here. I'm gonna turn it around. This is how it should be looking. Super fluffy, light and fluffy. This is the definition of light and fluffy. And we still have, I think, 4 minutes, but I think this is sufficient. So it was 20 minutes, but you just have to check and make sure. Otherwise, I don't want this to melt either. And now we're gonna start putting in the flour. So let's go ahead. Here's our flour that's been sifted. That way you're gonna have a very fine texture for your cookie, and plus the fluffiness of this butter. It smells really good too. Okay, so you see this? It holds its peak and it's really fluffy, very fine. Delicious. This is just butter. I don't know if I'm gonna die. It just has the raw eggs. But little by little, add your flour now. In very low, so that it doesn't, all the flour again doesn't become a cloud and get you. Okay, everything's being incorporated. Now I just need to scrape down the bottom because I can see that there's some dry flour there that hasn't been mixed in. And this is the consistency, guys, that you're gonna have for your cookie dough. Get a long spatula too, because you're gonna have to get in there and scrape. This one is not my particular favorite. I have a white one, but I used it to mix some joint compound because it was really stiff and it's really good. So I can't use it again here in the kitchen, guys. Okay, so I think Smart and Final, guys, has the white ones that I was telling you that are this really stiff ones, and they're long as well. So go check it out if you need a spatula. And I think we're done mixing. Now on to piping. Over here in our piping area, I have already my container, which is, I think it's a liter container, something like that, or a pint container. And then I have my piping bag here with the tip ready. It's an 847 Wilton, and that's gonna have a really nice star shape. And then I like to scrape everything because I don't like to waste any of this wonderful dough. You do have to work a little bit fast here because otherwise the consistency and the texture of your cookies is going to change as you pipe them. So you need to pipe them right away. So I'll work this really fast. As you can see, I lined my pans with silicone. You can use parchment paper as well. And just hold it here and then pipe down. Also, another thing is your hands don't have to be too warm because that'll change the consistency of the dough. I'm just gonna make them this size. They're about 1.5 inches diameter, and you pipe down where you put the pressure in the middle and then just round it up. They will expand, so try to put them with a good distance within each other. And try to pipe high. Don't do it where you're touching the mat, because then you're gonna make it all flat. That way they'll be nice and chubby. My dad wanted to go outside on bicycle, but it's too cold outside. Next. Okay, so I just realized the oven has been on for a while, so I just need to, and I already have some of the, whoa, what happened? Something fell. I already have some of the trays, at least 2 trays. I have 4 trays. So I need to start putting some of this marmalade jam. I can never make a difference of which one is which in English. But I'm putting them in a Ziploc bag, and I'm gonna open the tip with the scissor, and just another thing that I need to do actually is get some flour like this, and then with my finger I'm just gonna gently make an indentation in the middle so that when I pipe the marmalade, it's gonna make a little puddle and it's gonna hold the marmalade and it won't like go all over the place. So make a nice indentation. It's like a little well. It's good to have the flour in your fingers, that way the dough doesn't get stuck. That's a cool trick that I think, if you didn't know that, I think that's a really cool tip. Alright guys, and now I'm gonna seal this Ziploc. Make a little cut. And then just very carefully. I know this is gonna start spilling a little bit. The consistency is thick, it's not like too watery. So I think it's good right here. I'm just not making a good job at handling this bag right now. I think you have to press it like this. Twist it, and then go like this. Gonna put a mount because when it bakes, it does caramelize, and it gets, if you don't put too much, it's gonna be like it's like gonna get like candy. I like to, in the middle of baking it, I put the bottom tray on the top and the top on the bottom, and that way I can assure that there's good baking. Now we're putting it in the oven. Okay. Those are in the oven now, and just check them halfway so you can see how they're baking, because because I'm making them little, they could be done even faster. I used to make those really big, like maybe about 5 inches big or 4 inches big, and those took a little bit longer, especially with regular ovens. So we're gonna wait for those to bake. Next year, I'm gonna have to do this next year very early, because knowing how things happen in life, you never know what's gonna happen. And this light switch and light situation here just really made everything really push everything back to the back burner, and I needed to be ready. So next year, definitely do things earlier. I know, but you know, sometimes you just like think that you're gonna do things. Anyways, I'm going to get the cookies done, mail everything that I need to mail, and I'm gonna edit, because I also need to edit right now, and I need to get some of my other stuff from work done as well. So many things. But I'm happy. I'm really thankful that the lights have not at all done any flickering. Like, I'm so surprised. I don't know what the whole thing was. So either way, I'm thankful and I'm happy and I'm baking. So I hope you like this recipe. I'm gonna put it in the description below. This is one of my favorites and also a secret recipe. So it's out in the world now for you guys. And it's really delicious and easy. I think it's easy, you know? So I'm gonna keep piping actually and then get back once they're done. So here's the lineup. I got 2 more in right now, 2 more trays, and I still have some dough to pipe. I have these 2 trays that came out, and I'm gonna put them in the rack right now to cool down. And this is kind of like the color that you want to get, not darker. You could go lighter, but I like them a little bit more baked, a little bit more color in the back. I don't like them to be all anemic and pale in the back. Delicious. Can't wait to try them. They're still warm, but we're gonna have more than what I mentioned in the beginning. So I'm gonna do the final countdown of how many cookies, and then we'll put them in bags and get them ready. So I have my cooling rack, but it's kind of weird where it's sloped over here. I don't know what happened in the way, but I'm going to try to adjust it. I'm holding it with one, and then with the other plier, I'm gonna try to like bend it so that it stands up a little bit more. And then this side too. Yeah, that's better. It was kind of going like this. Now it's more level. See? With a plier, one holds, the other one bends.